So we'd prepared and we'd created these virus protective outfits. And they're like silver day-glow outfits with hoods and masks with these huge, great cod pieces sewn on them. Lord Habgood, the good news is we think we've got the camera working again, so that's very good news. The other good news is we've designed this little kit here for people so that there's no chance of sort of like virus and things like that being passed on to other people. What do you think to the kit? What do you think to the kit? Because there is a risk of virus being transmitted, isn't there?
I don't think your programme is going to be very fun. Now,
out the corner of my eye, I saw my mate dry humping the ex-Archbishop of York. And people say, Mark, but, you know, you say this, they're worried about it, you know, industry is driving this thing, there's loads of issues that haven't been addressed, like animal welfare, to ethics, to the safety of people, you know, to financing. But what's the answer, Mark? Well, I'll show you the answer. Can we put the answer up, please? This is the answer. There you go. That's what the answer is. It's called a donor card, and it gives people the chance to live after you die. And in Belgium, they've actually gone one step further. In Belgium, they had a big public debate, and they changed the law. So instead of signing a card to opt in to donor your organs, in Belgium, it's assumed that if you die, you've naturally given your consent to donate your organs unless you opt out. And you can fill in a card and register for your organs not to be given to other people. And in Belgium, they have doubled the organs available for transplant with that scheme, which is pretty fucking good. And the Labour government said, no, we can't do that because it raises too many ethical issues. And as you know from their foreign policy, ethics isn't their strong suit. So I want to show you another bit of the report. This is what they project will happen. Human donoring declines, as you can see. Pig hearts take off. Human hearts, boo. Pig hearts, hurrah. And on the front of the report, they've included a quote from George Orwell, Animal Farm. Seriously, you can check this out in a minute. And the quote is, this is really reassuring. The quote is, the creatures outside looked from pig to man and from man to pig and from pig to man again. But already it was impossible to say which was which. We wanted to talk to some of the companies involved in this work, and there's a company called Immutron who are owned by Novartis, and they've got it's really weird. They've got their headquarters up in Cambridge, their research headquarters up in Cambridge, and if you look, there's loads of biotech companies up in Cambridge, masses of them. Seriously, I reckon it's because if any experiments go wrong and people escape, they're close enough to Norfolk just to sort of blend in, you know. And we arrived up there, and I went into the lobby and said, hello, it's Mark Thomas from Channel 4. And this woman goes, yes, I saw you at Uxera. Yes, I did. And she disappeared before I could say, Warrior Queen! And she came back down and said, our chief executive will speak to you. I said, yeah, great. So we went in there, sit down, had a chat. I said, you know, this is a $5 billion, $6 billion according to some estimates. Some estimates are putting $5.5 billion just at the drugs.
Novartis Pharmaceuticals is a company. It has shareholders. It has people who are investing a considerable amount of money in the hope and expectation that you'll be able to bring forward new, novel medical therapies to the market. As with any other shareholder, and they do expect, in the end, to see a reasonable and fair reward for their, if you like, the risk that they're taking.
So I said, you're practically a charity then.
Pardon?
It's nearly a charity.
Novartis isn't, of course, a charity, as I
right.
say.
No, oh, right, OK, sorry.
It invests the money of its shareholders in the hope that it'll come forward with novel medical treatments, which, if they work, will benefit patients, but will also benefit the company.
I said, no, I'm not having a go, because I support the pharmaceutical industry. I support you so much, I've designed this, and I've flipped up this big card we got made. This is the non-donor card, OK? And we believe this will help industry, OK, to actually maximise its economic and commercial viability of xenotransplantation. And so what we've got here is I request that after my death, kidneys, coroners, heart, lungs, liver, pancreas be shredded, you see, and pigs also used in their place. Or shred the whole body.
Because what we've got is we've got this whole... We've got the ambulance outside, right? And we've got a shredder. And if someone carried around their non-donor card, then there's a small shredding unit that we've got at the back to ensure that they can't be used.
As I've said, I think it's very sad.
And then she turned to me and she said, and I can't tell when you're being serious and when you're not. And I'm like, yeah, and strangely enough, vice versa. And we said to her, you know, look, how far are you on the research?
We know that a pig heart can support life in non-human primates, and that tells you actually that it does function.
So how long does it support them for?
In terms of our studies, what we're looking at now is a month's survival of the heart.
Way to go. You read their reports, they're ready for clinical trials already. The weird thing about it is that $12,500 a pig heart, how much take-up do you reckon? Even if you got rid of all the moral arguments, all the ethical arguments, and it actually worked, how much take-up do you reckon you'd get in the NHS with rationing as it is? $12,000 or a couple of bypasses. Which one should we do? You know, so what you're going to end up with is even if all this stuff works, it will only be for the benefit with people with enough money. You know, King's Road, you get nice rich people walking around, oh yes, got a colour-coordinated Louis Vuitton shark spleen. Ooh. They'll probably have a little glass case here so you can see the designer label, you know. 30 years' time, you'll be opening up Hello magazine. Posh and Becks invite us to see their new matching kidneys, you know. That's what, you know, meanwhile, if you're poor, it's, I've got a budgie heart. It's weird. I want to tell you about this other bit, because it opens up, the whole debate opens up into genetics and GM, and there's a thing called the Genome Project, which task is to map out all the genes in human beings and identify them. And there's another project which runs next door to it, which is Private Corporation, which does the same thing. And they're after finding the causes of diseases, the genetic causes of diseases. And once they've got the stuff, the information, they apply to patent it and then take it through to copyright. And the company are called Celera, and they have applied for 6,500 patents on the human body and diseases. And I know some of you are shaking your heads here and thinking this is sick and cruel, but I thought, fuck it, niche market, let's have a go. I thought we're going to form our own little sort of like genome project to try and map MPs' genes and patent them. Sorry, it's just that we're after some genetic material. And if, is there any chance of picking up any from you? Just a swab or a bit of hair? Or some dandruff? What, or you know, if you've got time, semen would be handy. But that's we're after material because we're trying to get the pompous gene, and that's what we're after. And I'm sorry about this. It might hurt just a little bit. Okay, we're just gonna let's see if we can. Okay, you ready? It might hurt. Oh no, we didn't get one. Oh, I'm really sorry about this. Can I try again? Oh, you've got one there. Brilliant. Thank you ever so much. That's absolutely brilliant. What we're going to try and do with this, I think, is... oh, I know what we could do. We can try and find the unthinkable gene.
Yeah, certainly could.
OK, that's what we'll try and do. We'll try and map out and see if we can find the unthinkable gene.
Send it to number 10 if you do.
Awesome. I've got hardly any hair left at all. I mean, it'd be really quite worrying for me to give you some of my hair. You'll see my hair's almost gone.
Well, we could take semen if you like.
Some what?
Semen. We could take
What's that?
Semen samples.
What's that?
You don't know what semen is?
No, certainly not.
Sperm.
Oh, goodness gracious, no.
It only involves like a minute of your time, my little finger and a cupped hand.
No, I think actually, I'd rather, if you were going to do anything, I'd rather you take my hair, but I'm terribly short of hair.
See, if we got some genetic material from you, we could try and find the DNA that gave sound bites.
That gave sound bites?
Yeah, the genetic material that made human beings give sound bites.
Yeah, that's a thought.
We're collecting DNA material.
I don't know any stuff about that.
Can we collect some of yours? Just a little bit of sperm or something like that. All it just involved my little finger and a cupped hand. Is there any chance of that at all? Or a hair?
No, I've said not, but you're very kind. Thank you very much.
OK, so we're just trying to get the turncoat gene. That's what we're after. We're trying to sort of find it. There's a little addendum on the Genome Project where they say if we discover all the genes that make diseases, we'll be able to take them out and iron out all the kinks. We won't have sort of people with disabilities anymore. And we think, well, have you asked people with disabilities how they feel about that? Because we talked to some mates of ours who are disabled, and they said,